Hello, Kinder readers. This is Mrs. Orozco, and I'm here because today we're going to review the story elements. What makes a story a story? So, we have 5 things that we're going to review today that make a story a great storybook. So, the first thing we've already talked about, and I'm sure you could tell me what kinds of these, I'm sure you can tell me what kind they are. The first thing we're going to talk about is characters. Remember, characters are people, animals, or things in a story. That's right. Characters like the pirate here, Max from Where the Wild Things Are, Cool Cat, Mr. Pete the Cat, and look, we even have Chewbacca on here. That's right, because those are books too about Star Wars. The next thing we've talked about that you already are experts at is the setting. This is where the story is taking place and also when. Is it the daytime? Is it the nighttime? Is it in the woods? Are we in a candy house? Or a tower like Rapunzel? Or is it your house? How about the school? Those are all settings that can be found in great storybooks. We also talked, friends, about something really important called the problem and the solution. So, friends, the problem and the solution help us understand what are the characters trying to figure out. Is there a problem that they encounter? A difficult time they are going through? Do they have to figure something out? That's the problem of the storybook. And then, thankfully, at the end, the characters find a way to make it happen. Just find a way to resolve it. That's called the solution, friends. So they find a way to figure out how to overcome the problem. They find a way to find what they need, fix whatever needs fixing, or maybe they realize something important that they weren't looking at before. That's the solution. And so today, folks, we are going to talk about one more element. This is really important. It's so important that we're going to spend a few days on this. And the lovely Mrs. Reeves is going to help us so much with it. Friends, this is called the plot. Can you say plot? Plot. So we're going to talk about the plot. And these are the events that happen in the story. Remember last week we were talking about routines and sequences? Yeah, we talk about what happens first, and then after that, and after that, and after that. Remember, we cannot brush our teeth and then wake up. No, we can't do that in the mornings, right? So the events of the story that happen in order is called the plot. And so there's 3 important words that are going to help us remember this. And we can use the first letter of each word. You ready? It's called the beginning, middle, and end. What are those 3 letters, friends? B, M, E. Can you say that with me? B, M, E. So we are going to talk about what happened in the beginning of the book, in the middle of the book. This is usually where you find the problem. And in the end of the book. And here's another hint. That's where you usually find the solution. So let's get started with one of our favorites, Bunny Cakes. Oh, Bunny Cakes was such a great book. I loved reading the story of how they made the cake and how poor Maxie kept going back to the store trying to get his favorite candy. So let's look at it. We're not going to read the whole thing because we just want to review these elements. So here we have Max and Ruby. That's our first element, the characters, Max and Ruby. Now, one of the first things it says in the book is that it was Grandma's birthday. So that's another character, friends. Even if we don't see Grandma in the photo, in the picture, in the illustration, she's still a character in the book because we're going to talk about her. So that's 3 characters that we have. Good job catching that one. And so because it was her birthday, they're trying to make her a cake. Now, Ruby wanted to cook her a cake with eggs and butter and flour. That sounds like a really good cake. But Max wanted to do a mud pie. Woo! I don't know that sounds as great, but he was excited, right? And Max kept wanting to help. Oh my goodness. But what did he do? Well, first he broke the eggs. So he had to go to the store. He came back with the eggs. And then what happened? He spilled the milk. That's okay. And he had to go back to the store. And then he spilled the flour. Poor Max. He just wants to help. Has that ever happened to you? It's happened to me before. And so back to the store he was sent to buy some more flour. The store. What is that, friends? That is a setting because that is where it is taking place. So we have the store, and where else do we have the setting in this book? In their home, in their kitchen, because that's where the cooking is happening. Oh, look at Ruby making that beautiful cake. That's right. And so Max goes back and he finally gets his candies. Ruby finally gets to finish the cake, and Max finally gets to finish his mud pie, his little earthworm cake. And then they get to give it to Grandma. Oh, look at how happy she is. Do you see? That's our character. So in Bunny Cakes, we have 3 characters: Max, Ruby, and Grandma. We also talked about the setting. Where is it happening, friends? Good job. In the store and in their home. Now, did anybody notice what part of the day it was happening? Was it at nighttime or was it during the day? You're right. It was during the day. Good job. So let's talk about the problem of this book. Can anybody tell me what the problem was? I'll give you a hint. It has to do with Max and what he was trying to get from the store. He kept breaking things. And at the store, he kept trying to ask him for some candies. Was he able to get his candies? No. Was Ruby able to make the cake? Yeah. And then at the end, what did he do? He drew the candies. So the problem was that Max tried to help, but kept dropping things. So he was having to go to the store a lot. But in the end, we see that they both made their cakes, and Max even got his candy. That's the solution, friends.